podcasting's choice. From coast to coast, continent to continent, right here 24/7.
PNR.
Blueberry.
This podcast is a member of the Blueberry Network. Blueberry. No E's. That's Blueberry, BLUBRRY.com. Blueberry.com.
This podcast is a proud member of the Lamb Podcasting Network. Find the network at largeassmovieblogs.com.
The Big G, Tokyo Town, StompDown.
Welcome to Subject Cinema's Big G, Tokyo Town, StompDown. I'm Kim Brown.
I'm TC Kirkham.
Hey, that rhymed all the way to the end.
Yeah, it did.
That was pretty
Brought to you
cool.
by Subject Cinema, eCinemaOne, and Kaiju Corner.
I totally
We are
didn't
saluting Godzilla this month. 31 days.
Woo.
This is going up to the legendary release of, the release of Legendary's Godzilla King of the Monsters, which is a sequel to their 2014 movie Godzilla.
Yes.
Not all the people back in this one,
Nope.
but the important ones are Ken Watanabe, David Strathairn.
No, the important one is Godzilla. Screw everybody else.
Well, I'm of the human cast.
Oh.
Darling.
All right.
We are up
them.
to... I have to be honest, I've never seen this all the way through. This is the first one that I've not seen at least once all the way through. I don't think I've even seen part of this one. Because I don't remember the plot line. I've seen the sequel to this, the other one with this character. But I don't remember seeing this unless I saw the end of it. Is this the one where he does a little tussle at the end of the film with his father?
No.
That's the other one.
That's the other one.
Okay. So I haven't seen this one. Son of Godzilla is what it's called around the world. Japanese literal translation was Monster Island's Decisive Battle, Son of Godzilla.
Yep.
Released in 1967 by Toho. It was released directly to television in 1969 in the Americas. And, I mean, wow, okay. It's interesting, though, that they do intimate here for the first time in the description that Godzilla has maternal instincts. So I'm like, we've been talking, is Godzilla a woman, or a female, or a male? We've always associated it as a male, and yet several songwriters have insisted Godzilla is a female.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're coming from.
I don't either. I don't know if maternal instincts are actually accurate with this film as familial as you know, instincts. I think would be more accurate. Just knowing that's something else that's part of my species.
Right.
You know. The film opens up on an island where
another damn island. What is with all these islands?
Japan.
Oh well, yeah.
This is what I have to put up with. So you have a bunch of scientists that are trying to create and get correct a system to control the weather, because it would help out with droughts and stuff like that and make it rain where people need it and all that kind of jazz. So they wind up having a problem with all of this, because they wind up having a reporter show up on their island who wants to find out what's going on, and also the fact that they wind up getting attacked by some praying mantises. Now, when I say attacked by praying mantises, I don't mean just the usual praying mantises that might just, jump on your keyboard or whatever. These are large praying mantises.
They're 2 meters, which is not quite that large. It's slightly over 6 feet tall.
Long. They're,
Yeah, well, I know, but they usually stand on their hind legs, so it's 6 feet tall.
Yeah, well,
it's not like a big monster like you'd think of, but these things are deadly, so...
Yeah, well, when you consider the fact that praying mantises in nature at their regular size can be pretty aggressive, you don't want something that suddenly decides, you know what, a human looks like it'd be really tasty. So that's obviously not a good thing. And they wind up testing their weather control system, and it goes badly from the start because the remote control for one of their balloons, it's a radioactive balloon, winds up being jammed because of a signal that is occurring on the island that's not coming from them. It's coming from the center of the island. So the balloon winds up detonating before it's supposed to, and that makes rains radiation, which makes the giant praying mantises become even bigger praying mantises, and doesn't do anything for their attitudes either. They're called kamakuras in the Japanese version, and
Gimantis in the American.
Yeah, I like kamakuras better myself.
Yeah, I do too.
So the scientists find the insects, and they're digging something out of the ground. It turns out what they're digging out of the ground is an egg, a very large egg. And they're kind of, they're attacking the egg because they want to get at what's inside the egg. And the egg winds up opening partially because it was time and partially because you've got giant, friggin' praying mantises whacking at it with their big long claws. And the egg hatches, and as it turns out, there is a living animal inside of it. It's a tiny being a relative term here, version of Godzilla, of a Godzilla. We've established now that Godzilla is what they call the being and also his species, for lack of a better term. Mm-hmm. So it's a baby, and it's alone.
Godzilla?
Quit it. And it's alone, and it's terrified, and it's surrounded by giant bugs that want to eat it. The baby is understandably freaked out. It's apparently the thing that the signal that was messing up their weather balloon and all that was from the baby. That was the baby trying to communicate while it was still in the egg, and that caused the signal that messed up their equipment. Why not? Mm-hmm. So now you've got this little baby that's kind of like, I know he's a big monster, but still, it's a baby. Come on. And these freaking praying mantises are being all mean to him and stuff. Right. Godzilla winds up showing up and decides that, Godzilla again does what Godzilla does best and wrecks the scientist's base, stomps on that for a little while, and then rushes off and finds the baby about to probably be eaten by the Kamakuras, probably not in a nice way. And he kills two of them during the fight, and one of them flies away because apparently only one of them doesn't have a death wish and doesn't attack Godzilla.
Can't they track the one that flew away with their radar scopes?
Wrong giant mantis.
Oh. Never mind.
Godzilla, in a show of compassion, actually, for lack of a better term, adopts this baby Godzilla as his own, which I don't entirely know if animals do that. I mean, I know some animals do that. There's been, certain animals have taken other animals that don't have parents, and they take them in and raise them as their own babies. Mm-hmm. I don't really know if reptiles do that very much, and certainly not fire-breathing.
I have seen part of this now. I recognize the description.
I don't really know about fire-breathing, mutated lizards, but whatevs. Uh-huh. So the little Godzilla winds up being named Minya, and he grows up quickly. They grow so fast. And he's about half the size of the grown-up Godzilla, so he's pretty big. And he starts learning from Godzilla. Godzilla starts teaching him how to be a Godzilla. Ow. Like trying to teach him how to do it's actually very sweet. I mean, I know some people are going, "Oh, for crying out loud, Kim, really?" But I'm sorry. The scenes where Godzilla's trying to teach Minya how to be what he is, teaching him how to try and roar and how to, blow atomic breath and stuff like that.
Our eye rolling. Anyway.
You're so nasty!
What? I have seen that scene. I've seen that scene.
I'm sorry. I thought it was adorable.
Smoke rings? Really?
Oh, I'm sorry. When you were 5 years old, you could do advanced calculus.
No,
so
but
shut
some
up.
kids can.
Yeah, well, some kids can, but apparently not this one.
No.
So yeah, as it turns out, Minya's blast of atomic breath isn't exactly filling anybody with intimidation or terror or anything. Godzilla figures out that the best way to motivate Minya to blast a proper atomic breath weapon is to step on him.
Stomp on the tail.
Yeah, it's I'm kind of like, I don't really think that Dr. Spock would approve of that, but whatever. And that actually works, amazingly. Well, it would work on you too if you're trying to do something and your dad yanks on your hair. There's a young woman that's also living on the island, and she and Minya become friends, because she feeds him. So, it's kind of like a dog when you feed a stray dog and the dog's like, I love you, you're my new best friend. It's like that. Her name is Psycho, and she winds up being attacked by the apparently only other Psycho? What is it?
Psycho?
Psycho. S-A-E-K-O.
I can see how it's spelled.
Psycho.
Psycho.
Yeah.
You gotta put the E in there, because otherwise it sounds like you're saying psycho.
No, psycho.
As in psycho killer.
No, Psycho.
Psycho. Okay.
Yeah.
Just say it.
She winds up being attacked by the only other Kamakuras that's still left, and apparently hasn't learned its friggin' lesson.
And they didn't check the radar for it.
You and the radar jokes are getting real tired. The thing
Is the
is,
sun getting real low, hun?
I am so gonna bite you in a minute. And all of this racket has awoken another denizen of the island who's been sleeping peacefully in a valley nearby, but all this noise has woken him up. As it turns out, this other denizen of the island is a giant, and I mean giant, spider named Kuma. Oh, did I forget you had arachnophobia?
I don't have arachnophobia.
You don't like them.
I'm not fond of them, but I don't have arachnophobia.
This was the part of the movie you were like, yeah, I'm out of here.
Oh, please. I sat through Big Ass Spider and laughed myself sick. I'm not that scared of them. Anyway. This
spider is referred to as Kumonga in the Japanese version. It's referred to as Spaiga in the English dub. Again, Kumanga just sounds cooler.
Yeah.
And I gotta be honest, this is an ugly spider. This is a big, hairy, ugly, nasty, scary looking spider. I'm sorry. I know all the spider huggers out there are now mad as hell at me. I'm sorry. That's ugly.
Okay. We'll just refer them to Garfield.
The spider, needless to say, is all cheesed off because somebody woke him up from his nap. And winds up attacking the caves where the scientists are trying to hide from all of the insanity. And Minya winds up hearing all the noise and sees his friends are in danger and winds up trying to save them. But Kumanga uses his webbing and manages to ensnare Minya and the last Kamakuras, and winds up killing the Kamakuras, and he decides to feed on that before he feeds on Minya, which is probably a good thing for Minya, because during all of that, that's when Godzilla shows up and is like, what the hell are you doing to my kid? Godzilla gets Minya out of the web trap, and they fight Kumanga as a unit, and they both use their atomic rays and smoke rings, but occasionally rays, on the spider to try and kill it and save everybody. So that the scientists decide, after Godzilla saves their lives, the scientists decide they're going to use the weather machine, which they actually figured out how to work properly. And they're, in order to trap the monsters on the island to keep the world safe, blah, blah, screw you. Can you tell whose side I'm on in this?
No, not by the least.
They use the device and they make it snow. And so...
Lots of snow.
Lots of snow. Lots of snow. And The scientists wind up being picked up by an American submarine because everybody relies on us when crap goes wrong. And, well, it's true.
I'm nodding.
So Godzilla and Minya wind up falling into a hibernative state because they're reptiles, and reptiles don't like the cold. So they're sleeping as they're having, the snow is falling on them, and they're just waiting. They're going to be in hibernation until the island, the snow melts, and it'll become a tropical paradise again, and they'll probably just live there forever, and everything will be great. The end.
Or until the next movie. Wow. Okay. I've seen parts of this movie. I realized as we went through it. Mm-hmm. Isn't Minya just about the most irritating character ever introduced in the Godzilla movies?
Oh my gosh!
I mean, he's the Olaf of the Godzilla films.
Oh my gosh! What is the matter with you?
What? He is. I mean, Olaf is more annoying, but other than that, it's like, okay.
You're so mean.
I'm not being mean. I'm being honest. You enjoy watching those honest trailers, and I don't hear you complaining.
I've never watched one about Godzilla. If that happens, I'll probably go from 0 to Rage Monster very quickly.
Yep.
That's why I don't watch them. I'm sorry. He's a baby. For goodness sake, you're gonna be nasty and diss all over a baby? What the hell is the matter with you? Okay, apparently I'm getting the stop it look. Okay.
Most people listening to this agree with me about this character. Minya is the single most annoying character ever introduced in the Godzilla films, simply because he exists. I'm
think
sorry.
That's awful.
I'm sorry. He is a good link for little kids. But this is what happened to the Godzilla films. As you got further and further into the 60s, they went dumber and dumber and dumber and dumber until they couldn't get any more dumb. Around the time the Jet Jaguar movies were made. And I'm like, what the hell? You really can't. I mean, he was a scary character in the first 2 films. And then
Godzilla, you mean?
Yeah.
All right.
And now you've gotten to this... Oh, I'm going to be a substitute parent for this little lizard thing. No. Anyway.
Okay.
Just my opinion.
No. Fine. I'm wrong. Screw me. I'm wrong.
I didn't say you're wrong. I don't agree with your analysis of this movies, because you've always said even that they've dumbed them down as they went along.
They did dumb them down, and this is a point where we're not quite completely there.
No,
yet.
We're not yet.
Not yet. But I have to be honest. I like this film because it does give more depth to Godzilla. Mm-hmm. He's not just this big, mindless thing running around smashing stuff. Mm-hmm. And the idea that this... I mean, I realize the next thing I'm going to say, I know some people who are listening to this are going to be going, oh, for crying out loud, she's finally flipped. Mm-hmm. But did it ever occur to anybody that the reason that Godzilla is the way he is because he's confused and he's lonely?
Well, that's possible.
Animals have feelings. I will never not believe animals have feelings. People like to be like, oh, animals don't have feelings. They don't understand what we understand because we're so advanced, blah, 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 because we're upright, naked monkeys with opposable thumbs. Screw you. Animals have feelings. Animals feel joy and pain just like any,
they do,
certain animals. I mean,
they do.
I don't know if a flatworm feels anything or anything like that, but you know what I mean. I just feel like his attitude toward Minya in this film is almost kind of like, this is another thing like me. This is something like me. If
Mm-hmm.
there's something like me out there, then I'm not by myself anymore.
Well, that's fine. But they don't really make that clear in the way that the movie's made.
Considering the fact that he could have walked up to it and torn it to bits, instead of viewing it as a being to take under its wing. I know Godzilla doesn't have wings. Shut up. But instead of viewing it as a threat, he viewed it as, wow, this is something like me.
Right.
This is something I can teach.
This is something to help continue to bring the little kids into the theaters.
You're so bloody cynical.
Well, am I wrong?
I didn't say that.
Yeah. On tomorrow's show, we head into 1968 and a science fiction-ish, another science fiction-y Godzilla film, Destroy All Monsters. Once again, there's aliens involved. And a few other things. And we will get to that tomorrow. Any more comments on this one?
Nope.
All right. So let's head off into the stomping sunset for today on the Big G Tokyo Town StompDown. I'm TC Kirkham.
I'm Kim Brown.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Big G Tokyo Town StompDown from Subject Cinema, Kaiju Corner at eCinemaOne.com.
This podcast is a proud member of the Lamb Podcasting Network. Find the network at largeassmovieblogs.com.
Podcasting's choice. From coast to coast, continent to continent, right here 24/7.
PNR.